So recently in my videos, I haven't really been painting zombies in the brightest light, and really I've been really critical of zombies, especially with my most recent video talking about the end of the Ether storyline and kind of talking about the problems with it. And even though I'll continue to probably be quite critical of Black Ops 4 with especially my upcoming video that I'll make once I stop procrastinating of a look back at Black Ops 4 Zombies or whatever it's going to be called, with all that still, I mean, it's not like there's nothing I like about zombies, even if I'm being so critical of it. In fact, I mean, zombies still to this day is my favorite game in the history of video games I've played. Like, it still is. I love this game mode so much. I mean, there's probably some better overall games, but you know, just game mode, this is by far my favorite game mode I've ever played. And of course, that also goes with the story. Like, this is by far my, well, maybe not by far, but it's still my favorite story of all time. And for Treyarch to somehow mix one of my favorite game modes of all time, or my favorite game mode of all time, with my favorite story of all time, it's just crazy. And I honestly can't thank Treyarch enough. But even if the gameplay is great, and even if the storyline is as great as it is, they both still had their problems. I mean, like in Black Ops 2, the gameplay wasn't that great at first, and then in Black Ops 4, it had its own problems. Same thing with the story, really. The story was not great in Black Ops 2, and same thing with the end of Black Ops 4, but even though they had their issues, there was one thing that really, ever since Zombies, never really was bad, or even just okay. It was always good or even great for the most part. And what I'm talking about is the music in Zombies. The music in Zombies is super underrated. Like, it is the most unappreciated things about the Zombies mode, because the music in this honestly makes so much of this game. Like, I don't believe the story would be able to reach such heights without the music. Like, especially thinking about all the cutscenes that have their different songs playing. Also, during the Rise and Drak's main Easter egg, when you blow up the moon, you can hear the piano playing. It just works so well. And yeah, these spectacles are cool on their own, but to add the music to them just makes them great. And that's what I really like about this, and that's exactly what I want to do with this video, is kind of just recognize the people at Treyarch that make the music inside this game and just tell everybody how great they are, because they honestly are the most consistently great part about this game. And I do want to kind of just do a little look back on everything great that they have done here. And first, I want to look at none other than Kevin Sherwood. Kevin Sherwood has probably been the main dude making all of the side Easter egg songs, obviously the ones that we all know, so we could just look back at everything he's made. Of course, he's not the only one who made them. Of course, Maluka sang them, Elena Sigma sang them, Clark S. Nova, I believe his name is, also sang a couple, and then there's a couple other people that, you know, sang one-offs and stuff like that. But really, just looking back at these songs, it's honestly just crazy. I mean, if you look at the first ever, I guess, Easter egg song in all of Zombies, it would have to be Varuk's Toilet, right? Lullaby of a Dead Man, which to this day I still think is a great song. I still think Lullaby of the Dead Man is still one of the best songs that we've had in Zombies. And if I'm not mistaken, I'm pretty sure I heard a story that Lullaby of the Dead Man came from the ending song when you would die on Nocturne and play a little song like it does, and they kind of got that part and made that into a full song, and that's where Lullaby of the Dead Man came from, which is just crazy to see how they got such a small clip of audio and turned that into a full song, and a pretty good song at that. And then I believe in Shinonuma we had The One, which I think The One is a little underrated. I don't think people really give it enough credit. And then in Derize we have Beauty of Annihilation, which it's not the best song, but it's still a solid song. A lot of people really like that. And now going forward, I can't name all of them after that, but just a couple of other, you know, ones of note, like in Black Ops 1 we had ourselves 115 Abracadabra. I believe Abracadabra is a little underrated, but again, a lot of great songs that we had throughout all of Black Ops 1. Black Ops 2, you know, that was probably the weakest year for music. I mean, Transit song wasn't exactly ideal, but you know, the rest of them were, because they all made up for like the Transit and Die Rise's weak music with having DLC 2 Mob of the Dead release with Where Are We Going. Oh my gosh, that song is amazing. Where Are We Going that's a thing of beauty. It's just probably one of the best songs in all of Zombies. I just love it so much. And then, of course, in Black Ops 3, we have a couple other, and I think a lot of people don't really look at Dying Flowers or Dead Flowers, I think it's called, one of the two from Zetsubo no Shima. That song's really good. Another underrated song. Like, there's a couple underrated songs. And then I believe a really good version of Dead Again, because Dead Again from Der Reisendrache, they actually kind of remade that for the music video in a theatrical version, and oh my gosh, the theatrical version is a piece of art. There's no other way to describe it except a piece of art. Dead Again theatrical, just amazing. And there's a couple other ones in Black Ops 3, but I just want to focus on probably my personal favorite song in all of Zombies, and that's Remember Forever. Oh my gosh, Remember Forever is just amazing. I honestly think it's just slightly better than Where Are We Going. It is actually that good to me. I really love it. I love the Samantha, what's it called? The Samantha lullaby themes to it, and the children chanting in the background. It's just such an amazing song, especially alongside the music video that we got with it. And I think what happened was that we got the music video before we actually found the song in game, so it was pretty cool. So you know, it's just one of those cool things. And even in Black Ops 4, through all its faults, I mean, the music in it was still pretty darn good. I mean, we had a remake of Where Are We Going that may just be better than the original Where Are We Going. I'm not going to say that it is or isn't right now, but it may just be. That song is a piece of work, man. It is amazing. Also, I think probably the most underrated song. I know I've been saying a lot of underrated songs in this video, but the most underrated song of all time in Zombies is probably Drowning from Voyage of Despair. That song is really good. You guys should check that song out if you guys haven't heard it. It is, wow, it's amazing. Oh, I also forgot to mention Always Running from Black Ops 2. That's another underrated song, almost as underrated as Drowning, but again, we're not going to focus too much on this. But of course, like I said, there's just so many good songs in this, and I know even in, I guess, Togler in the last ever map, we didn't get a full song with people singing, but we still got a song there, which wasn't too bad. I mean, it wasn't as good as what we got in the past, but it still was a good song to listen to when you would activate it, and it's still all cool. And I just can't thank Kevin Sherwood and everybody who helped him make these songs just for having these songs. Honestly, I don't think that there's a single artist that exists that I've actually listened to that I like more songs from. So again, huge shout out to Kevin Sherwood. He makes amazing music, and really hope to see him in the future and listen to his music that he makes inside his next game. But there's something I want to talk about real quick before we actually end this video, because I think that there's something that goes under the radar with Zombies music, and what that is the music that doesn't have any words to it, like kind of just the instrumental music that you just hear during cutscenes, you hear during when you're just playing the game, when you're different parts of the map, when you first enter a map. I mean, Mob of the Dead did this better than any other one, but really I want to highlight Brian Tuey. Brian Tuey, we didn't really hear about him much until Black Ops 4, and recently he's been uploading a lot of songs to his YouTube channel from just every Zombies game ever, and a couple, you know, ones that he just made himself. And I'd recommend checking out the channel. I'll link it down, because he's uploading some really amazing songs that I just completely forgot about, and now hearing them back again, it's actually just amazing. But just listening to these songs, it's just crazy. I mean, when you see things like Underdark, I think it's called, well, the Revelation song, I think it's a song that you get when you're just running around the map. I actually don't know how that song's activated, come think of it, but that's a really good song. Like, I completely forgot about Reflections from Togler Toten. It's something, but you know, there's a lot of good songs here that he's uploading. I hope he continues to do this, because he's, at least when I recorded this, he just released one 2 hours ago. So I really hope to see more and more of these, because these songs are just so amazing, and I just thank him so much for it. And especially looking at Samantha's Lullaby, I mean, the most iconic song in the history of video games, just maybe is the most iconic song in the history of video games. And just seeing all the other mixes of Samantha's Lullaby, I mean, Samantha's Journey, which I believe, where we actually hear that song, I remember hearing, oh, actually, it's on the PlayStation 4 Zombies Chronicles PS4 theme, so I think that's where it's from. It might be in-game too, which is another great song. Samantha's Desire from Buried, super underrated, just OST, so you know, that's amazing. And then oh my gosh, just the remixes of Samantha's Lullaby. All the Samantha songs are just amazing. Anything that has Samantha in it and is related to a song inside a Treyarch game, it is amazing. I don't even care if they're remixes or remakes or anything like that. They are amazing. Like Samantha's Lullaby Magic Mix, that is just, you know, a remix of the original Samantha's Lullaby that played during Zetsubo no Shima's ending cutscene, if I'm not mistaken, is amazing. I love that song so much. Like, oh, it's so good. Another one, and this was my favorite OST song in all of OSTs until recently, and this was Samantha's Sorrow from Garad Krovi. Please listen to that song. It is so good. But more recently, I think I have a new favorite OST of all time, and this is Samantha's Peace, and this is the Togdertoten OST, and the song that plays during the final sequences of the ending cutscene. Of course, when you're Samantha and Nettie walking through the dark to reach the light at the end of it. And my gosh, I know I've been very critical of the end story-wise, but honestly, this final sequence was perfect. Honestly, I would not want the story to end any other way than listening to Samantha's Peace as we walk through this dark tunnel, hearing quotes from all of our characters. Like, that part is exactly what I wanted to see with the end. Of course, you know, other parts leading up to that kind of are iffy, but my gosh, Samantha's Peace is just, it's just amazing. Like, I don't know any other way to put it except it's amazing. Man, it's just amazing. Like, I don't honestly know. If you guys haven't actually completed Togdertoten's ending and it didn't crash on you, and you haven't actually experienced this walking through and you're actually controlling Samantha and Eddie, I just recommend just keep trying it until you get it, because it is just so cool when you're walking through it, listening to the characters. Samantha's Peace is playing, you're getting to the, oh my gosh, it is just amazing. Like, again, I can't stress this enough, that as much as I don't like the ending story-wise, this is the best way to end the story. Like, this sequence right here with Samantha's Peace and them walking through it, I know I'm repeating myself right now, but I just need to stress it. It is just amazing. I really wish I was better with words to describe how it felt to me, but I'm really not. So it's just all I could say, that it's amazing. But anyways, I really just wanted to make this video just to thank the sound team and the music team at Treyarch, because they've been consistently great at their job. Even when everything else in the game had been iffy, rough roads and all that stuff, they were consistently great at their jobs. And I just can't thank them enough for it, because they made this even better than it had to be. Like, even better than it was going to be. They just made it. Like, they were the cherry on top to every single part of this. Everything that was great about it, they added the cherry on top with the music. And I just can't thank them enough. But again, big thank you to Brian Tuey, Kevin Sherwood, and just everybody else on the music team. They're amazing, and I know the story's ending, but I really hope to see you guys all return. I can't wait to hear your music in your next game, and I'm excited for it.